Hello everyone. Today my topic in this lecture, variational method for excited state. In last lecture I have discussed the variational method for determination of upper bound energy of ground state. The energy of excited state can be determined by taking the trial wave function which is orthogonal to lower state. That means if you want to determine the expectation value for first excited state, so trial wave function is orthogonal to exact wave function of ground state. Exact wave function of ground state. Function of ground state. Function of ground state. If we want to determine the upper limit energy of second excited state, then the trial wave function is taken which is orthogonal to exact wave function of ground state and first excited state. Suppose the trial wave function for n plus 1th state is phi n plus 1. Is phi n plus 1, which is orthogonal to exact wave function of all lower states. All lower states psi 1, psi 2, psi 3, ... Then if we determine the expectation value of Hamiltonian H for n plus 1th state, then it will gives the value an plus 1 square en plus 1, an plus 2 square, an plus 2 square mod square en plus 2 ... In this way H expectation is greater or equal to en plus 1. Now to determine the trial wave function, suppose the trial wave function for ground state is phi 1 and exact wave function of ground state is psi 1. Trial wave function is phi 1, but exact wave function that is determined by the Schrodinger equation is psi 1. So phi 1 and psi 1, their product gives a constant A1. So trial wave function phi 2 is equal to phi 1 trial wave function of ground state minus कोई constant A1 into exact wave function of ground state. This is the wave function of trial wave function of first excited state which is orthogonal to psi 1. This can be proved as follows: psi 1 product with phi 2. Now this term is read as product of psi 1 with phi 2. So psi 1 phi 1 product, psi 1 product, this value is equal to 1 because the product of psi 1 same value, that is 10 Kronecker 2, and that is written as Kronecker delta 1 1, that is equal to 1. So this term and this term are same, so you will get the value of 0. So phi 2 is the trial wave function of first excited state. And if we use the phi 2 for the determination of expectation value of H, then we will get the value of upper state of first excited state. In the similar way, the trial wave function of second excited state is given by this, which is orthogonal to exact wave function of first excited state and exact wave function of ground state. The generalization of above theorem, you will get the trial wave function of n plus 1th state is orthogonal to exact wave function of ground state, first excited state, second excited state, nth excited state. In this way, the upper bound energy of n plus 1th state is determined by use of this trial wave function. This is the end of my lecture.